Hey, what's up, everybody? How are you? I pray all is well with you. I pray that you are having an amazing day. I pray that you had an amazing day. I pray that you communicated with Holy Spirit, and I pray took advantage of every single network, every single partnership, business, resource that God afforded you today. He positioned you for prosperity. He positioned you for your promise. He positioned you for your posterity in the earth. And I pray that you pay attention to what he was doing in and through your life today. Listen, I am so excited about tonight. I really am. What's up, everybody? Let me know if y'all can hear me well. Please let me know. Just type in there, I can hear you. Just say, I can hear you. Well, I could do it myself. Hold on. Oh, well, yeah, I can hear myself. So there we go. Wonderful, wonderful. Let me say hi are on as I always do. I see Evangelist Yvonne. Hey, daughter. Let's see. Prophetess Eva. How are you? How are you? Pastor Rekesha, the midwife. What's up? And hey. How are you? Raymond, what's up, bro? Kiana, hello. Mama Reba, what's up? Minister Charmaine, hey. How is everybody doing? Listen, it's going to be amazing, absolutely amazing tonight. And I'm telling you, you do not want to miss it. What's Kasim from Anguilla? What's up? Let everyone know. Do me a favor and evangelize the world. You want them to be a part of this conversation tonight. Trust me, you really do. You want them to tune in tonight because we've got something special for them, and it is going to help. Let me see. Do me a favor as we are live, share this, tag people in it, get them in here. The sound is choppy. Are y'all saying the sound is choppy? Okay, so it is. Is the sound choppy? Because if not, then I'm gonna shift in what I'm using because we don't want the sound to be choppy. Okay, so they're telling me my sound is bad. So let me fix it. Hold on. See, the sound was good before. Then we go live, and all of a sudden the sound is bad. All right, so we'll fix it. Give me 1 second. Hold on. All right. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me? Okay, is this better? I'm gonna have to use the microphone tonight. So let's pray I don't get preachy. No, I'm playing. Uh you never know. What's up? Is that Carolyn? Hello, Carolyn. How are you? Hello. Uh yeah, I know. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for joining in. I see you, Prophetess Tanya and Mama Reba and Jeremy. I see you, baby girl. Hey. How are you? Let me see who else. All right, cool beans. So y'all can hear me well. Let's get on with the night. Listen, once again, if you don't know who I am uh I am Apostle Dr. Christopher Montgomery. I am on here every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Supernatural Living. I'm right here where you are locked in, and I encourage you to be a part of what we are doing here in CM Chris Montgomery Global. And make sure that you like and subscribe. We're on Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook right now. So make sure that you like, subscribe, tag, share, do all of the stuff that you're supposed to do on the social mediafications. Hallelujah. All right, cool beans. So if you are ready for tonight, I'm not going to belabor the time because I've got a powerful woman of the Lord with me tonight. One of my good friends. And in some cases, she's like my right arm and my right ear, and she's there as a listening ear, and she's my sister, my friend, all of that good stuff. We know her as the midwife. But before we get into it, y'all know what y'all got to do. Y'all know what y'all got to do. Y'all got to type in those three powerful words: I am supernatural. You got to type in I am supernatural. And when you type that in, you're letting us know that you are ready. You are poised for what God got for you tonight. And I'm telling you, it's going to change your life forever. And because anybody who kind of follows us, they know whenever we get together, we going to change somebody's life. And it's going up, down, roundabout, everywhere. So I see y'all typing it in. I am supernatural, and make sure that y'all hit a whole bunch of likes, and make sure that y'all share it and tag the folk in what we got going on tonight. Cool beans. All right, let me do this. Wow, we got a lot of people from other countries on. Hello. From everybody from all the other places. I see Africa on here, Guyana's on here, Anguilla's on here, India's on here. Hello, everybody. Yes, type it in. I am supernatural. I'm ready for what God got for us tonight. And so when you type that in, you're letting everybody know that you are not an average Joe, an average Jane, but you are here on purpose, in purpose, by purpose, that God created you and dispatched you on the planet to literally be a solution to the world's problems. You are not here by happenstance, and you are not here by chance. It is no coincidence that you are here, because on the inside of you rest solutions and rests plans that other people will follow. You are a trailblazer. You were sent here to lead, and you were sent here to literally cause other people's lives to be made better. Yes, I see y'all typing it in. I am supernatural. I'm trying not to get riled up too quick. But listen, tonight I have got my sister with me tonight. Got her with me. She is known as the midwife. The reason why she is known as the midwife is not only because she is the midwife of multiple authors and multiple books, meaning that she pushes them and coaches people to birth their books, but she's a midwife to anything she comes into contact with. She's just simply a birther. That's what she does. She makes everything come to fruition. She gets your dream, your vision out and out of you, and helps you and launches you into purpose. And so without any further ado, I want to introduce to many of y'all, if y'all don't know who she is, my sister, my ride or die girl, Rekesha Pittman.
We trailblaze.
Yeah, this is my girl, the trailblazer. Listen, definitely I want all of you to like and share and tag your people in what we got going on, okay? Make sure you get them in here, okay? Make sure that y'all get them in here, because it is going down, around, up, down, left, right. It's going everywhere tonight. Cool. So this is Rekesha. This is the midwife, my sister, my friend. Rekesha, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. Greet the people. Let them know where you're from, what you do, all of that good stuff.
Hey, everybody. I greet you from Texas in the Dallas area. I'm in Frisco, Texas, and thank you. I am affectionately known as the midwife. If it's in you, I can see that and help you birth what God has put inside of you. And so the midwife is a term of endearment given to me by my many students that I've had over the years. And so you probably don't want to come by me if you want to stay the same, because I'm either going to confirm something or kind of let you know something that you didn't realize you were pregnant with, and you won't be able to run from it. And I will hold you accountable for it. So if you want to do something, come in contact with me. If don't, run.
That is so true. That is so true. There is so many as a matter of fact. I said it because I said it yesterday at your virtual birthday party. Happy birthday again. Yeah. Yes. So I said it at your virtual birthday party. A lot of people ask me, Chris, why, like, you are just like pushing out all these books, and like every time we turn around, it's a new book. It's because of this one right here. It's because of her that all of these books have come out. She looked at me, did that little head tilt that everybody knows. Right, that look right there. that look right there. That's like, come on, bro, let's get it together. So all of those books really is giving credit to her. I was sitting on a lot of them. They was just there. And so she was like, yeah, no, you gotta make this happen. So we're very, very, very excited to have her. And it is so true. If you want to remain the same, do not come around this woman. Don't come around this woman right here. It just won't be, you won't be the same. So listen, let me tell y'all, there's a story that I have that I'm not going to tell of how we met, because she don't like me telling it. So I'm not going to tell it. So I'm going to tell the other story.
Okay.
Of when we met again. So, yeah. So we hadn't talked in forever. We met each other at a conference, and then after that conference, we lost communication, if you will. And so we actually came into contact at another conference, and we just looked at each other and was like, what's up? You know, my sister, you know. And so ever since then, we've been like this. And so that is my girl. And so and we're y'all gonna get to eavesdrop on brother and sister talk tonight. Okay. And so Pastor Rekesha, the midwife, she got so many names, y'all. So y'all gonna see me calling her so many names. But she has been to our conference. If y'all did not know, she is going to be one of our speakers at Trailblazers, the Encounter 2021. Woohoo! Listen, if you have not registered for Trailblazers, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You need to make sure that you are at Trailblazers July the 28th through the 31st in Charlotte, North Kakalaki. Okay? Yes. All right. If you want to know where God gonna be, he gonna be at Trailblazers. So just come on. If you want to know where he at, he gonna be at Trailblazers. So so listen, I'm telling you. But Pastor Rekesha has been a speaker at Trailblazers for the last 4 or 5 years, I think. And so y'all know it's coming up. And so I'm going to ask you this, Pastor Rekesha, before I get into, because you become a staple at Trailblazers. Like, you become like one of them things, like everybody's like, all right, is Pastor Rekesha coming? Is the midwife coming? Is she coming? Is she coming? Is she coming? You know, so she's speaking. To say Trailblazers, you know, you might say AC, but you also going to say the midwife because she's been there. So listen. You tell the people, in your experience of Trailblazers, what has it been like for you? Like, what's your favorite memory? What's it like just being at Trailblazers?
I love, honestly, overall, I love the accessibility. I know that most people will say, oh, it's the worship or oh, it was the classes. It's the accessibility. There is a bonding that happens at Trailblazers every year, not only with the staff, but with the people who come. And I think that's because we do offer that access and intimacy. You know, for people who do the one on ones, which are a favorite for anybody who's done your one on one session, because you get that personal answer and that attention and the strategies that you need to do something. What I love about Trailblazers too is you don't just come to get pumped up, you don't just come to get encouraged, you come to get informed and transformed to reform.
Woo, say it again to me, huh?
Okay? You come to get informed to and transformed to reform.
Woo!
Okay, so we are not, Trailblazers is not, I'm grateful, thank you, that Trailblazers is not just a gimmick title that you put on it, but it's something that actually happens when we come together. So you come on fire and you go out like a bonfire. It's a bigger fire because more fuel has been added to your fire. So when we're calling Trailblazers, we're not calling, no wet wood.
Come on here.
Who already have a flame that they just need to know how to ignite and turn up to a whole nother level. So I like that. You will meet people, you will form bonds, friendships. It's like a reunion every single year. I look forward to seeing people. So by the time you lay down on the floor, I'm not judging you because I've already bonded with you and we connected.
Come on.
Come there to get that fuel for your fire.
Oh, yes. I'm telling you. It is. And as you said, that is something that is so true. And the reason why we frame it that way, honestly, is because you and I, both of us, we've traveled the globe, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've traveled, we've spoken in other continents, other countries. Across this country, we've done conferences together. We've spoken at the same places, led groups, led classes and courses. She is actually, for those of y'all who know about Kingdom Life Academy International, she is so pivotal and poignant in getting that off the ground and running and everything like that. And so I'm telling you, we framed it that way at Trailblazers because you and I travel a lot pre-pandemic, but traveling is gearing back up, right? So both of us are rocking and rolling and moving and shaking. And so with us going to different conferences, I know you can identify a lot of times we'll sit in the workshop, but you can't touch the instructor.
Right.
You can't, there is no real connectivity. And or we come to our conferences, and because both of you and I are in the creative arts sector as well, we go and we do our dance, we do our mime, we talk about the garments, we talk about the Levitical priesthood, we do all of that, and we prophesy and we do all of that, and we lay hands and everybody fall out in the floor, but then nobody knows what to do after that part. And so we framed Trailblazers and fashioned it so that when you come to Trailblazers, yes, we've got speakers that are potent with information, but we make it accessible to you, accessible to you, so that you can pull a Rekesha Pittman to the side and say, hey, when you said this is what it is. And she doesn't mind pouring. I done seen her literally give people $1 million ideas on the elevator at Trailblazers, $1 million ideas in the hallway. She'll walk up to your table and say, if you do this and do that, if you move this around and put it there, it's going to attract, like literally that's the type of environment you'll be at Trailblazers, because we're not just there to collect checks or take up offerings and lay hands on you so you can fall out so you can make us feel good. No, it is, we're coaching you the whole way through, and it's like you're incubated. And so, yeah, the accessibility is paramount. And oh my gosh, the bonds that are made the connections that are made at Trailblazers. Oh my good googly moogly. We've had businesses be birthed from people who registered at church. They got together and started businesses. People have started their churches, ministries. They've written their books
Mm-hmm.
and published their books. Oh my gosh. So let me ask you this, because I'm just talking because I'm getting excited about Trailblazers. So what would you say is your favorite, if you could pick one memory
Mm.
from Trailblazers, like what would you say is your most impactful memory or your most favorite part of Trailblazer, or your favorite memory? I know it's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's so hard. But you know what I love? The one panel we had last time, I love the panels. You all, what I love about Trailblazers too, just overall, it's hard to pick a favorite part because it's so good the whole way through. And
Yeah.
every year, what I like too is that even though you have an expectation, you just throw the program away when you
Throw it
walk into
away.
the door. So it's like we expect something epic to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
And so that's overall my favorite memories of Trailblazers are we always have an unexpected epic, or I don't know how you spin the epicity or whatever we want to
Yeah.
say, efficacious, or
Yeah.
how we want to make these words up. But there's always some epic, memorable moment at each one. Every year, I think every year it gets better, and every year it grows. And even the years when we don't always come there, y'all, every year awesome.
No.
Trailblazers go through moments where we have struggles too, and you
Yes.
still have to stay ablaze in the middle of what you go through. And we've had those very high seasons and we've had those very low seasons, but every single time it has been awesome. So you're going to get panels that are great. You're going to get classes that are great. What frustrates us, my brother AC, Apostle
Yeah.
Christopher, and I is it should be something for everyone. It doesn't matter what level you're on. If
Right.
you are a senior level or high level or academic type person, there is information for you that's verifiable. If there's not people talking about business who don't have a business.
Come on.
He makes sure that the subject matter experts are verified so that when you get in there, you're not like, fraud alert. You don't do fraud alert on these
No.
types of people. So the panels are great because then we see how that synergy works together, how the power of agreement works together, and the iron sharpening iron. And you can see light bulbs and moments of illumination happen with
Yeah.
people who are there. And then when you're choosing classes, I always say this too, stop going to stuff you already know.
Come on.
Go to something that's going to force you to grow. So go sit somewhere where you are the novice in the room so that you can grow a little bit more. It's great. The general sessions are always amazing. I
Yeah.
don't know if there's a time on the general session. We've gotten a little more time conscientious over the
Yeah.
years, but you just know we're just going to adjust based on whatever happens when we come together, because when we come together, it's that bonfire effect that I'm talking about. And it's
Yes.
not only a bonfire, it's a wildfire.
Yes. So
And it might not
true.
be a controlled burn because you're going to burn all the way to the airport. You're going to burn in the Uber. You're going to keep on
Right.
burning with everybody that you come in contact with. And
Right.
that's why you need to be there. You can ask real questions. Honestly, can I be selfish? My favorite experience every year is that people come up to me and they literally confirm. It's like an accountability. I don't even have to ask. They come up and they hand me their books. They come up and
Yes.
they tell me that they built a business, or they show me their table or something. So if I have challenged them, they come back with evidence of that. And it did not take 2, 3, 4 years down the road. They
Come
come back
on.
one and say, I had my one-on-one with you, or I sat in your classroom, and now here's evidence of the fuel that I received the last time that I was here. That's what makes this different. You won't be frustrated. You'll be fueled.
Yes. Come on. Come on. And y'all got to think about it, like, for real. How many, and this is no shade to other conferences, because Trailblazers is not, the only, Trailblazers is the only of its kind. I'm not even going to lie.
Mhm.
But there's other conferences that do well. But
Yeah.
how many of y'all have been to conferences where it's like you go, and when you're going home, you going, I'm trying to figure out what I spent my money on. Every time, and I'm telling you this, and you know it because I think people have told you this. At the end of the conference, they're like, I would have paid like 2-3 times what I paid just to come to the conference. But if I would have known that it was going to be like this, I would have brought a whole lot more people with me, and I would have definitely invested a whole lot more. So, but it is that way, right? It's that
Mhm.
bonfire effect. It is that connection, and it's also there. It really is here because as trailblazers, right? As trailblazers, we do get, our fire get a little dim, huh? May not be a
Woo.
blaze. It can start turning into, may not be a blaze, huh? A blaze. It turned into a little flicker.
He was like, "Hey."
Right, we smoldering. We
Mhm.
ain't blazing. We smoldering. You put your hand close to it. You can feel a heat, but you might not catch a fire. So, we get there. But what happens at Trailblazers, especially when I almost said when Dr. Rekesha, when the midwife comes, and she's one of those that is like she's a catalyst. She's
Mm.
a conduit. She's an accelerant. And I purposefully bring her knowing that she's going to be like, okay, she can like pinpoint the people that's smoldering, and it's like, I don't know what to do next. It's like she's got a grace to find you. And
Mhm.
she's gonna be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. The reason why you smoldering is because you're not supposed to be doing that right now. Let's do that. And then they go, aha. And then they come back with their books and their businesses, and they get vendor tables just to show what they done over the last year. So you're right. It's just absolutely amazing. And especially for us trailblazers, all of us, even the speakers, I've come to the Trailblazers and we host it. I've come and I'm like, wow, I know you've come and was like, Lord, I need something too. And it always happens where God just gives us what we need. Okay. So here is my thing. Because yes, it's called Trailblazers. For those of y'all who didn't know, it used to be called The Encounter.
Yes.
Before, it used to be called The Encounter, Face to Face with Destiny. That's what it used to be called. And then my sister here was like, bro, you shifting. Does it have to stay The Encounter? I was like, no, not really. And
I be
so
messing stuff up.
and I'm like, no, not really. But she helped me to shift, right? And move. And so we went to, and I was like, you know what? We've encountered, we've had destiny moments, we done worshiped, we done did that. Now it's time to blaze the trail. Now it's time to
Mhm.
become and now it's time to move forward. And so that's how Trailblazers was born. And so this particular year, the Lord was like, bring it together.
Yeah.
So take Trailblazers and the Encounter, bring it together. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. And so let's talk to those. I believe that everybody that is on here is a trailblazer. I really believe it. I believe that everybody on here is a trailblazer. I think I'm fueled is going to be a t-shirt.
You know,
That might be a t-shirt.
every
Um,
year we have a Trailblazer T-shirt or something we said.
listen, we got so many sayings. One of the sayings from Trailblazers that she gave was, you can catch these hands. Listen, everybody was saying it for years. You can
Years,
catch
every time
these
they
hands.
see
You
me.
can catch these hands. My Lord. So, anyways, but everybody on here is a trailblazer. And it's important because us as leaders, as trailblazers, a lot of times we don't get the pour back into.
Mhm.
Meaning we pour out to everybody else, but it's kind of like, well, who's pouring into the pourer? Who's reigniting me? I done gave my stuff out to everybody. I need somebody to reignite me. Um, and so especially in this pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
especially in this pandemic, a lot of trailblazers have been struggling, right? Because what once worked no longer works. So, what would you say to the trailblazer that is in this pandemic, in this way of life? What would you say to them? What would be your message to them right now? Don't give away too much because you're gonna be at Trailblazers. So, but what would be your message to them right now? And then we're gonna probably take off from there.
Well, trailblazers can always see a way when there is no path. So
Good.
you may have been familiar, and some of us got comfortable with the predictable, but now we have been forced to reevaluate who we are. I didn't say what we do.
Come on.
We have been forced to reevaluate who we are. And we keep it real. When AC
Yeah.
and I talk, like it's unfiltered. I won't say uncensored. I'll say it's unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
But I will say that this pandemic in particular has made you might have thought you were strong and you realize I'm falling back into my old habits. Come on. I know I'm
Yeah.
talking to somebody now.
That's
I
it.
know I done fell off. I'm not as committed. I'm not as spiritual. I'm not as devoted. Heck, how many of us have really gone to church? You know what I'm saying? So we are not even assembling. So that's less accountability that we have. Some of us done put on this pandemic pounds, baby. We've been packing it down. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the affirmation and the validation that we got was from the crowds. Some of the stimulation that we got was from being with other people. So now we've been forced to be by ourselves, for the most part, or contained, trailblazers, contained, right? We've been contained. And so now we are forced to deal with who am I? Because who I am is affecting every single thing that I do. If my business is not making the money, now who am I? Am I a hustler or am I a problem solver? Am I a healer or am I a complainer? Do I have a message only when I have a crowd, or do I continue to get downloads even if I have to upload them or store them for another time? What is it? What are we feeding off of? So this is what we're forced now to investigate within ourselves to say, am I still blazing and creating things even though everything has changed? So have I changed? Have I developed? Have I transformed? Or have I gone backwards? And now I don't know what to do with myself because now I have to find out who I am again. So one of the things that I'm going to deal with this year is I love to talk about the core talent. We've all been given a measure. You all have a talent. I love the parable of the talents. What is that? Because if you discover what that is, you can always blaze a trail if you're abiding in your calling. I don't stay in lanes. Y'all know I'm anti that. That's some group thinking, that's limiting. We'll talk about it at Trailblazers.
Right.
But if you abide in your calling, everything that you do, you touch, will prosper, will be blessed, will work because it came from God. It didn't come from you. And so that's my push to you this time as you show up. Stop trying to think of some stuff and get downloaded according to what your core is, the download that you receive. And then that's what your output. I always say my outcome justifies my income. So let God give you the download for what he already put inside of you, and you're trying to be creative. The hustle don't work no more.
Say it again because they didn't hear you.
No hustle will work, but your hustle is not going to work. And that muscle I'm talking about is that core that God gave you. We always talk about that strong core. So identify that. I think purpose has become convoluted as well. A lot of people do not know their purpose. You know what? I don't think we just have one thing to do. That there are seasons that you will be able to flow into different things. You don't just have one single thing. Are you serious? God is not that boring. But if you get to the core, it says abide in your calling. Now you got me preaching. Now I'm going to go grab my mic. but that calling thing, man, God will bless that if you just do it. That's what he's been dealing with me with strongly this year is do what I told you to do. Teach and train, and you will not have to worry about provision. That's my core. I'm abiding in my calling. So provision follows and flows to what I am called and cultivated to do. But it doesn't mean God is going to bless my bright idea if it didn't come from him, and everybody can tell it's a hustle, baby. I just want you to know.
Come on. Okay.
So anyway, let me stop. Ooh.
No, don't, you ain't got, listen, we in here. But because you see, in the days past, and I think that we created a culture of hustling.
Yeah.
I think we created that. And so in this era, in this age, if you're really going to be a trailblazer, you need to understand that what you do has to be in direct alignment with who you are. It has to be in alignment with who you are.
And we're waiting. Go ahead. We're waiting for somebody to tell you. God will tell you.
Yes.
People can confirm and affirm that. And I'm not saying that you won't get some surprises, because I have. But come on, who are you listening to? We are trailblazers. We're not talking about pew sitters. We're not talking about people who need a fire, and you know what I'm saying? No, we are the trailblazers. So God will tell you who you are. But okay. You shouldn't be confused, trailblazers, is what I'm saying.
Right. You can't be confused. And the thing is, I think the confusion comes in where we recognize is either one or two things. We recognize who we are, but we don't know how to hone it to or package who we really are to actually do what we're supposed to do. That's number one. Or we're doing something that has absolutely nothing to do with who you are.
Right. Because you saw somebody else's prosperity.
Come on.
Or you saw somebody else's victory in that area. And then you were like, I want to do that too. That's called envy. That's that's clout chasing, however we want to sum it up. Instead of you being comfortable. Listen, Christopher and I are peculiar, and we know it. I am not like anybody else, and I'm good with that. He is not like anybody else I know. He's good with that. And so when you can get comfortable with being like, I'm just different, then you can trailblaze and not really worry about what anybody else is having to say, but God, you know. Right. And some of those little loudmouth voices, they don't matter anyway. They don't matter because it is about, we got receipts. It is about the fruit.
Right. Right. And that's the thing. Listen, and you know, sis, I don't bring people to trailblazers that ain't got receipts. Listen, you better have something.
Some of us have long receipts and some of us got short receipts,
but we got receipts though. Right. And so the thing is, watch this. But it is so true, because there are so many times, you know, I call it the plight of the trailblazer, which is because we lead people, we listen to people, we hear them behind us. And you got to really understand, listen, all of the voices that's talking to you and trying to get you to not do what you know you're supposed to do, you need to look at them and ask yourself, first off, do they even have the same value? See, that this is real talk. Y'all are y'all eavesdropping on brother and sister talk. This is how we talk, okay?
We go here.
So we go here. You need to look at the people who is talking about you and trying to guide you. Do they even have the same value as you?
That's how Moses got into trouble. People always want to talk about leaders like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm y'all. I see stuff and I'll be like, lies. Okay, so they all have this. David was an adulterer and a murderer, and Paul was this, and Moses was that. Listen, some of them had consequences for their decisions. We forget about that. Because Moses was vexed and mad at people, He did not get to go into the promised land. That does not discount Moses' leadership. I'm telling you that he lost out being upset by people and not doing what God called him to do. David did not get to build the tabernacle he was planning because there was blood on his hands. But we want to talk about like it's an excuse for us not to listen to God about how everybody has all of these disqualifiers. It's not perfection that we're telling you. But what we're saying is you can lose out on your maximum impact and capacity by deciding I'm going to do me more than I'm going to do God. So let's stop using these excuses and go back to obedience is better than sacrifice. So I would rather have the maximum effect that I can have than to say, yeah, but, so great. We have these examples, but can we trailblaze all the way to the end? Or are we going to be snuffed out before we reach where we're supposed to go because we tripped somewhere along the way?
Come on.
I'm just saying, can we be balanced? That's what I like to bring to the table, is to say, let's weigh the gravity of the decisions that we make and go all the way. I don't want to, you can't win going 75% of the way.
Right.
Go all the way. So you lead people to a place you can't even access because you done struck a rock. Instead of speaking to the thing, you lashed out. That's why in this time, trailblazers, be careful about the weight of your words. My words will start a fire, and this can be for good or bad.
Yep.
Okay? So we have to be careful about what we judge, what we say, what you get involved in. The value of what you have to say carries more weight if you're not always engaging in stuff that's not even your mantle. There's things I stay out of, so that when I do speak, my words count. And when I do speak, my words are effective. They are life-giving. And we know that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So be careful what you give your fuel to.
That's so good. That's so good. You got to be careful. Oh, man. Listen, you got to be careful. And not only who you give your fuel to, but who you let in your car or your vehicle. Because everybody can't go where you going. And I mean, that's just okay.
We that way. Look, I'm like that at the conference. I love everybody, but when it's time for me to go off by myself, leave me alone.
Come on.
I'm open. I'm vulnerable. You have to know yourself. That goes back to what we were talking about earlier. I know me. When my filter is off, Christopher has heard me, Apostle Christopher. That's my brother, y'all. So please, I'm not disrespecting the apostle. That's my brother, like for real.
Right.
You know, but he know, like I can be unfiltered with him because I'm not gonna have to pay. You know, he ain't gonna take me down with it. But there's some people you can't be unfiltered with because it's not wise. They have no wisdom to give. They have no word to give. They're just trying to take something to go report. Apostle Christopher is not reporting on me. And that's the difference. So as a person who is in leadership, I've learned to guard my mouth in certain environments, not because I'm being fake, but because everybody does not know how to translate that.
Come on.
Especially if you're vulnerable. And after we've been around a lot of people, we're open and we're vulnerable.
Yep.
And so you just have to make sure that your defense systems are in place so some people do not use that information to then take your fire out.
Come on. Come on. That's just wisdom. Huh?
But y'all talking about everything. Shh.
Right. Sometimes hush mouth grace is your saving grace.
Thank you.
Right? Because, you know, even you and I have been some places around the world and we looking at the other leaders like,
what
in the world?
Yes. Yeah. No wisdom.
None at all.
And it takes down your effectiveness and your influence with that person because they feel like you're a fool.
Yep. They feel like you're a fool. Absolutely. Absolutely. And in this time, especially being a trailblazer, you need to make sure that you're leading with wisdom. And, there's a proverb that says a wise man keepeth his tongue. So you need to understand that a part of wisdom in leading as a trailblazer, if you're going to be on on blaze and all of that, that means that you need to watch what comes out of your mouth and who you even release certain things to.
Right. If it's your assignment, say it. But there's a scripture talking about you don't go grab a dog by the ears. Like if you see a dog fight, baby, I'm not trying to get mauled or bitten. That's
Come
not.
on.
People would say, well, why don't you say something about this? It's not my mantle. That's not my assignment. So why am I going to risk? Listen, I keep telling you, I live in Texas. I understand the dynamics and the politics of my state. There are certain things I wasn't getting involved in. Why am I going to risk my business and my effectiveness off of something that wasn't even my assignment? But we feel like just because you see something, you say something. Can I say this? Since we talk about Miriam, we talk about hearts. Just because you see something doesn't mean you have the right to say it.
Come on.
It doesn't matter what your opinion is. Moses married who he married, but Miriam was a prophetess, which means that she heard from God, but she was up there discussing something that she didn't have no business discussing. And then she got hit with leprosy. Nobody was able to move because why? I asked God about that. I said, now Aaron was the priest and Miriam was the prophetess. Why she get leprosy and he didn't? She heard from God, her influence. She led all the women in the dance. She had so much influence that all the women would follow after her. You will be dealt with more harshly by the level of infection that you can cause, which is why there's some stuff that even if you do have a diagnosis, that doesn't mean that you have to pronounce it. It's not your patient. It's not your area. It's not your fight or your battle. It has nothing to do with you. Leave it alone. But if God assigned you to something, by all means, go for it. But we get in trouble when we get outside of that and we start trying to fight and speak into things. About I'm a prophet, using your office to then abuse, your area of effectiveness. I'm sorry, your papers are revoked at this point. They're not any good. She got sat down.
Your papers.
She got sat down. Nobody moved, waiting on her until she was restored back to her place. So that's why I'm telling you guys, we have to really watch now, especially in this pandemic, how we are talking. Don't be scared, but I'm saying, like, if you know that's not your thing, plead the fifth.
Listen, one thing I think it was you who told me this. You and I, we had left an organization around the same time to move on, do other things, and it seemed like I was getting, sorry,
y'all, right now.
right. Y'all just eavesdropping on brother and sister talk. I was getting, y'all, when you left and other people left, it was just, when I left, it was World War III.
Right, but I wasn't saying nothing.
But she wasn't saying right. Me with my crazy self, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna talk about it. So
and we had that talk. I wasn't judging them, but I said, well, the difference is I didn't say anything.
Right.
Yeah, it was right, but I didn't say anything because I felt like my silence was more detrimental.
Yep.
We just out there now. I felt like me not saying anything was more telling than if I started mudslinging, and I have receipts. I'm just saying, like, if I don't say anything, then I remove my influence from that.
Yes. And so you had said something to me on the phone, and I really started to kind of apply it to a lot of things. And you said, Chris, don't fight a war where there's no spoils. If you can't get anything out of it, don't fight it.
Right.
Don't get in it. And I said, because it was, okay, what do they have that you need?
Nothing.
And the answer was nothing. And so it was like I'm going to just go on and sat on back and ride it out and watch what happens.
And that happened by experience. I'm not perfect. I learned, I'm a feisty little something, but I have learned, like, I can really I was way more harsh in my younger days. We had a different paradigm then. We had different examples then, and it wasn't as graceful and empathetic like we have now. But I had openly corrected something that happened at a conference, and I got hate emails, hate mail, hate phone calls, and I kept defending myself. Well, this is why, and y'all don't know what happened. God literally told me, stop defending yourself. So the next person that called me, I said, you know what? Thank you for your boldness to call me. I appreciate that. Do you know that immediately the war ceased?
Come on.
And so it's not that God will not tell you to answer when you're supposed to answer, but I'm saying I was defending something, like I was defending me. You know, and it was just causing more and more people to get mad. But as soon as I just was like, you know what, thank you for being bold enough to tell me, stop, everything stopped. And I learned to be careful about how I fight, because warfare is strategic.
It is.
David said, shall I pursue? You got to know. You can't just go grab something because you think you want it. No, you always have to consult with God. And sometimes we forget, because we can fight. I can fight. Apostle Christopher can fight. Listen, and I'm not just talking about physically. I'm like, we got that mouth.
Right.
But there is a way that we have to let God's grace and let him get the glory, and not just, I got you.
Right.
I'm going to cut you on down and make you feel this big. And then what have I won out of that? Offense. You offended. And now we ain't cool no more.
Right. We won an argument and lost the soul.
Thank you. And sometimes a very key relationship. And I praise God even for us, because, it was that old way. And then because we have a key relationship that was healed, thank God. But that only comes with a spirit of humility. Some of us were taught wrong, you guys. So when you come to things like Trailblazers, sometimes you have to unlearn or relearn things that you thought were okay, because that's just what you know.
Right.
Your attitude, the way you talk to people feel uncomfortable around you all the time. It's not people pleasing. You got to tap really into how to draw. Jesus said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto myself. So if you're repelling everybody, Jesus is absent somewhere.
Huh?
We cutting up now.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, that is so true. And it's happened so many times at Trailblazers, honestly, because once again, the people who we have come to pour into you, to minister to you, prophesy to you, pray with you, sit down with you, talk with you. And sometimes it comes to where it's like, okay, yeah, I know that you thought that this is how it's supposed to go. I know that's all, but let me show you, as the Bible says, a more perfect way.
Yes.
Let me show you a better way, so that you can live so that you can blaze, so that you can be flame on, so that you can live at your apex level. Because we don't, I was about to ask you if I could be real, but this is my life, so I can't.
Me?
Right. Here's the deal. Because we've all been there to certain places, or connected or invested finances, money, to be mentored or be taught or attend a conference, revival, whatever. And we find that they talking from a fantasy world, and they don't even have what they talking about.
Listen, I always say, did it work for you?
Right.
One of the things that I loved in my book, Masterful Mentorship, one of the things that my mentor taught me was, she said, can they follow you home, Rekesha? And what she was saying was, are they going to find the same person at home that they do on that stage, on that pulpit, wherever your book, wherever it is? Are they going to find that same person? What I found is that when I followed some people home, it was like being in the Wiz. When they showed back up and was like, the Wiz head was on the ground. Hold on here. This don't work for you, but you telling me to do something that don't work for you. We are over that.
Right.
And I think the pandemic exposed a lot of that too.
Yep.
You
Yep.
ain't got nothing. So when you don't have people to, bewitch anymore, now you got to go do a whole nother hustle because you don't have nothing. Because
Come
your
on.
gift, not your gift, because what you operate in is bewitching,
You're talking
manipulation.
good.
And people can be manipulated. And there is a difference. There is a difference between being manipulated and being transformed. Come on.
Come
We're
on.
not, we're not, we're not coming to play mind games on you and then preaching to you something that doesn't work for us. That's
Right.
what I have to talk about. We have our struggles too, but then what do you do? Who do you find when nobody else is left?
Right. Ugh. Ish. Katai. Listen, I'm telling you. Listen, y'all. She is gonna be at Trailblazers. This is what you gonna get. This is y'all getting a sneak peek of what workshops is like, panel discussions. So imagine like 10, 12, 14 of people coming at us like this. You know what I'm saying? Because none of our speakers hold anything back.
No, and we get along, so
And
that helps us. We're not competing with the person next to us.
ain't it amazing?
Right. We're like, yeah.
Right. Ain't it amazing? You come and it's like you see the leaders, the speakers, all of us, and you're like pushing one another. We submit our gifts to each other. And the thing I love about it, I can say this as a host, all of our speakers and facilitators and empowerment specialists, as I like to call them, are cool with working their lane. Everybody is cool with being in their lane, and they know I ain't about to sit here and try to coach everybody on how to be an entrepreneur, author, and speaker and a trainer when I know Rekesha over there got a whole organization called East.
Come
No,
on.
you go talk to her. And when you want to learn how to flag, come talk to me.
Right.
You know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
just
And
going to do
we
that.
send everybody to everybody. And that's how everybody goes up together.
And some of us can do it most. I ain't gonna say do it all, but we can defer, and we have enough respect to say that is not what is needed from me here. That is not my assignment here. Let me serve this. I'm serving this dish. I'm not
Right.
trying to serve the whole buffet.
Come on. Right. This is what I got. And I ain't trying to serve something else that I didn't prepare.
Thank you.
So I'm telling you, it's amazing. So once again, y'all, if y'all want to know how I got, because I know some of y'all like, oh my God, I need to register for Trailblazer. If you ain't hyped up about Trailblazers right now, you need to come. If you ain't excited about Trailblazers, you need to come to Trailblazers.
We have a good time.
So it's scrolling right there at the bottom of your screen. www.kingdomlifetrailblazers.com. www.kingdomlifetrailblazers.com. You need to go and register like ace to the sap. Okay. Because one, we're almost at capacity. And two, and that's capacity for in person. And you want to be there in person.
It's different.
It is totally different than doing virtual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Content is the same. The experience is not.
Correct.
Okay. So I'm just saying you want to be there in person. And so you want to register. If you wanted the top tier vendor, I got like 3 messages today asking me to be for the the Premier Plus or something like that vending. It's all sold out. So you guys, so it's only we ain't got that much vending space left. So make sure that we had to ask the hotel for the whole second floor just to vend. And we almost sold out of that. So y'all listen, y'all need to come and make sure that you register, get your deposit in. If you ain't got the whole registration, you can do payment plans, all of that stuff. Okay. And it's on automatic withdrawal. Okay. We don't do promise to pays. It's just automatic withdrawal. Huh? So once you go in, it's going to automatically come on out. Glory be to his whole high name. But
Right.
anyway, and you can bring your kids with you, ages 5 to 17. It's going to be amazing. But the midwife, she's going to be there, and she's going to be teaching and speaking and training and mentoring and pouring and all of that good stuff. And midwifing. She's going to be doing the midwifery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's going to be doing the midwifery. Um, in this pandemic, and in this season, I think that the pivot is paramount.
Mm-hmm.
Every trailblazer needs to learn how to pivot. Now, we've heard it a lot, and we've said pivot, pivot. Everybody pivot, pivot. But sometimes you don't even know how to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about the potency of the pivot. Ooh, that's good. The potency of the pivot.
If you're not settled and secure, you will fall trying to pivot. I'm gonna say that one more time.
One more time for the
If you're
people
not
in the
settled and
room.
secure, you will fall trying to pivot. When you do like a sudden turn, and for those of us who have any type of dance training, when you're pivoting, it is a controlled movement. You have to know how
Yes.
to adjust your body to be able to turn in another direction, to be able to face something new, or to be able to face things in a different way. So there is a potency in being able to have the balance to turn and not fall when
Come
you
on.
are doing it. Some people fall off, some people fall down, some people fall away, but we are trying to move in a direction that keeps us going. When people say that stay in your lane, I keep saying if you stay in one lane and you keep driving, you will hit a dead wall. You're going to have to turn somewhere. So you need to know the signs before you hit a dead end. I'm going to say that again. Some of us saw this before the pandemic. The reason why some of us were able to be unscathed is because we saw things moving. And when you're trying to hold on to that old way, like some people are still doing now, it causes you to be stalled. It causes you to be putrid, actually. Not just putrid because it's dead, it's old, we smell it, we see it. So it is very paramount to learn how to turn, to control how you are distributing your weight, to be able to move swiftly and smoothly. You want your pivot to be smooth, not rocky. I always talk about the oxen. When you think about a threshing floor, it's a smooth place. They're supposed to be able to walk that with no issue, but they stumbled in a place that it was supposed to be a smooth walk. And some of us do that when we lose our footing, right? So you have to be, what do we say, like a tree? That's that security. When you are planted in God and you are secure in your place, you are always at the source. So changing is not going to be an issue for you. So you have to be able to know when to turn before you hit that block, that roadblock, or that dead end, or before you fall off the cliff and you got to be rescued. Learn when to turn and you can keep going.
That is so good. That is so good. My conference manager just reminded me, y'all, if y'all register for Trailblazers by midnight tonight, we're giving you a 10% discount on your registration. So if you register tonight by the mid to the night, okay, then
is that EST?
That's EST, huh? So make sure that you register by midnight tonight. You're going to get a 10% discount to everybody who registers by midnight tonight. But like you were saying, even in the pivot, now I was trained in ballet. Mm-hmm. I was trained in contemporary. I was trained in jazz, and of course, mime. The one thing, and this is, we're going to kind of probably wrap around to where we started. The one thing that literally determines whether you spin out of control or not is your core.
Yep.
If your core is weak, if your core is not strong, or you don't know how to, as we say in dance, engage your core.
Yes.
If you don't, if it's not firm, and because your core is what keeps you upright.
Pull up.
It pulls you up, right? And
Mm-hmm.
if your core is not right, you're going to spin out of control.
Yep.
You're going to start traveling clear across the stage. You're going to bump into everybody, and the choreography going to get thrown off because your core ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of started off even talking about
That
you
core
need
talent.
your core talent.
Mm-hmm.
What is in you? And just because it's a good idea doesn't mean you need to do it.
Mm-mm.
Right? Just because it's a good idea doesn't mean that you need to do it. So you need to get your core
Strengthen it.
together.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're pivoting, as you're shifting and moving, you need to make sure that that pivot, that shift has everything to do with your core.
And core work is not comfortable.
Come on. Oh, come on here.
I know, because y'all, listen, I did my abs today, baby. That core work will also let you know what areas of your center or your core are not strong. That's why you have to work on your core. And I know that we're saying this in a dance term, but this is really a spiritual thing.
It
It's
is.
a natural thing. You have to work on the core. Your core, if you don't work on that core, it won't be strong. We won't see the strength in it.
Right. Right.
I told my trainer today, I said, I'm beginning to think that abs are unnatural. Because we have to work this hard. But the truth is, when people see, they see the strength in the work. So when you've done the work, it is visible, and can't nobody say no. It's evident.
Come on.
And when you haven't done the core work, come on, people, that's also evident.
It's evident. And not only that, let's just be real with it. When your core isn't together, you start slouching. Your posture is off. And not only that, but if your core isn't strong, it creates problems in the rest of the body, because the rest of the body is now trying to shift to accommodate the weakness of your core.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to know why stuff around you is falling apart and your posture isn't right. It's because you ain't tapped your core yet.
Yeah. And it's you have to work at it.
You got right. You can't do, they can snatch you all day.
No. And I joked. I said, maybe I need to be like these other people, just get it. He said, you still got to work it out.
You still got to work it.
Got to work it out. And I was like, well, let's just go and do the work then.
Right. Right. They can nip and tuck and snatch and grab and do all of that stuff all day long. But after you get up off that surgery table, you can look good. But in a couple months, unless you work that stuff out, boo-boo,
back.
You're going to be right back where you were.
Exactly.
And I think that what we have done in times past is a lot of cosmetic transformation. A lot of cosmetic shifting, meaning that it just looks good on the outside, and it just but we never worked the muscles, and we haven't worked all of the stuff on the inside, because when you do that, then everything becomes more sustaining.
Right.
Then you can sustain the transformation when you have worked on the inside of the stuff, which is why we do this stuff at Trailblazers. Yes, we're going to get prophecy. Yeah, we're going to have intense times of worship. Yeah, everybody hit the flow. We be in carpet ministry and everything like that. But what do? After we come up out of there, and after we come up off the floor, and after you done got your oil and your prophecy and your prayer and your intercession, we go into work. We go into breakout sessions and panel discussions to say, all right, now let's work on your inside.
Right.
Let's get this changed. Let's shift your paradigm here, because we can do a whole lot of stuff on the outside, and that's good. That's wonderful. But we need to work on the inside so that when you go home, you can sustain what happened to you when you were here.
Mm-hmm. And it's easier to hide in group work. I know that from an exercise standpoint. God. You do it, you can kind of cheat and skate or whatever. But when you have personal training at Trailblazers, and you have group exercises. Okay.
Right.
When you get to that one-on-one, you can't hide behind nobody else. It's you, your stuff, and you have to deal with that right now or right there. Okay. And that gives you greater results because it is customized for you and it strengthens you overall. And then you can't just kind of pick your intensity when you're in the crowd.
Come on. Come. You done said
Hey,
something
I'm
right
living
there.
this. So it's easy to apply the spiritual principle when you have to go through it. And that's why what we do go through, it's going to teach you. It's going to teach you there. And you can apply that to your life and learn how to get stronger and grow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's so important for us to, as you know, apply it so that you can show up, right? Show up for yourself, show up for other people, and show up for the world. You know, I was talking, I have, you know, my mentorship group called Focus Mentoring. The Focus Mentorship Group. And I was talking to my mentees in it. And I said, listen, here's the deal. You can have a dream and an idea and a plan. And then you can look over at somebody else and see that they doing what you dreamed about. And then
Mm-hmm.
you want to say they stole my idea. No, boo boo. They didn't steal your. You can't steal an idea. You can't steal a plan. What
Mm-hmm.
happened? They had enough guts
That's
to
it.
implement and show up, in the thing where you was just sitting back trying to get. Listen, trailblazers, like you said, trailblazers can see a pathway where there's no road. They can see a road but there's no pathway there, you know. And so what happens is, if the trailblazer just stands there and looks at this jungle, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
and go, well, let me try to figure out how I can get this machete. If I go with just enough force, then I can do this. And then I'm going to go about 10 paces to the front. And then I'm going to go 2 paces to the left. No, trailblazers, you just go.
Start cutting.
You
Yeah.
just start cutting. You just start cutting.
And you
And,
discover as you go.
and you discover as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Trailblazers, we don't necessarily always have the luxury of being overly analytical. Kind of, you know, we gotta go
Go.
for it. We gotta jump, we
Push
gotta
down the
leap,
road.
we gotta run, we gotta cut through, we gotta bushwhack, we gotta do whatever it is that we gotta do in order to make it happen. And so what happens is we get mad at some other people because they doing stuff while you sitting there trying to plan it. They're prospering because they simply did it.
Right. And that's that fear over faith. And for the trailblazers in training, I want to say something that might be confrontational. People are tired of you failing you.
Whoo, whoo,
People are tired of you failing you. And there is such an affirmation and a celebration when people see you show up and they see you've done some work. I'm living this right now.
yes,
There is a different level of influence and you affect people to make better choices for their lives. Do you hear what I'm saying?
yes,
When you show up and people see that you have done some transformational work, whether it's on yourself, your business, or whatever, it causes a chain reaction. It's like a fire, a spreading fire of
yes,
other people to do it. Some people are so tired of knowing that you are as dud as a firecracker, that you just won't, no matter what they say to you, you don't realize that you are TNT. You don't realize that you can blow. You don't realize that. And so people are tired of you failing you.
right.
So a lot of your ability to move forward has been stunted because they see the potential, but you won't work that thing.
My God.
And they just move on and they follow somebody less qualified, less wise,
Come
because
on.
they're moving forward and moving people along with them.
You cannot afford to fail you.
People tired of you failing you. They see it.
They see it. They see it. They see it. How many? Okay. I know you've encountered them. I've encountered them to where you sitting there looking at the person like, now you got
Come on.
all this and you just sitting on it. Like you got all of it. You're wise, you smart, you is you is smart, you
You kind,
you is kind,
you is
you is important, right? You got all of this on the inside of you, and you just sitting there. It doesn't work that way. You failing yourself. And because some people, you want to know what I've learned, sis? Some people are just afraid of their own greatness.
right. It's just so self-sabotaging.
Absolutely.
You are your enemy.
You your own enemy.
You're the saboteur.
Right. Ain't nobody in the back in the back room trying to figure out how they're gonna take you out. You taking you out.
You the hater. You your own hater. People talk
Come
about
on, say
haters.
it again,
It's
and I'm gonna
you.
point the mic to you. Say it again.
It's you. Ain't nobody hating. You're sabotaging yourself, blaming haters. It's not haters. It's you.
Come on. Come on. And one thing I've learned, this is what I've learned.
I'm sorry, Makai. She said, it's feel like a rebuke. We just telling the truth.
Listen, we just telling the truth. We just talking. We told y'all just get to eavesdrop on our brother and sister
That's how
talk.
we talk.
That's how we
That's
talk.
how we talk.
And honestly, and let me tell y'all this. Let me say this before I say the other thing. Like, this is how we talk to each other.
We do.
Like she'll be like, bro, come on, man. And then sometimes I'm like, sis, now come on.
Yeah.
But and you need somebody who can, I always say, find you somebody who can blaze at the same rate you are.
He done checked me a couple times. I was like, oh.
Right. And she done me. So we like, whoop, okay. Well,
okay. I was
all
like,
right.
You
All
right.
right. Okay. So, but you can trust, watch this. I can trust her check.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's good. Mm-hmm.
I can trust her check because she's not trying to get what I got.
Nope.
Right? She ain't trying to get what I got. And watch this. And then I can trust my network because she knows if I meet somebody new, she says this all the time. You influential with the affluent.
Yeah,
right?
You have influence with affluence.
I have influence with the affluent, and that's true. I really do. And so the thing is, everybody, I always be like, meet the midwife, meet Rekesha. You want to get your book done? Meet her. You know, and so that's how that goes because I can trust her when she calls me and say, bro, you need to look at this or pay attention to this. And she can trust me when I'm like, all right, now, sis. Right? So you need to get you somebody that can blaze and trailblaze at the same pace and same rate as you. The problem is you dragging too many people along with you, and it's only slowing you down.
Ooh.
And sometimes it's not just you that's slowing you down. The reason why you keep missing your season is because you was trying to convince Bugaboo to come along with you. Listen, ain't nobody. I'm sorry, my bad.
Whoo! And they do be bugging you.
And they listen, won't they?
Woo!
And so you can't sit here trying to convince everybody about your vision, about what you called to do and everything. One thing I have learned over these last probably 3-4 years, right, is that my movement will magnetize the people who are assigned to, let me give you a spiritual word, my mantle. My movement will magnetize the people. Sometimes you can't bring the same people that's been with you in the last couple seasons. It's okay to be like, all right, great. It's been a great run. I'm not necessarily saying I ain't going to be your friend anymore, but I got to speed up.
Mm-hmm.
I got to speed up. I got somewhere to go. And sometimes the trailblazer has to go by themselves.
Come on.
The trailblazer got to go by themselves. And what happens? When it starts to, I've learned this over the last couple years, simply because I started moving forward, not trying to take my best friend, though she's my best friend, she ain't nowhere near what I do. And I'm nowhere near what she does. We're cool blazing our own trails, but watch this. We can still call each other and have conversation and talk and all of that. But watch this. Watch this. This is what this. Let me help you. Y'all lean in. Y'all lean in. Watch this. If you're gonna be a trailblazer for real, you're gonna have to resolve and come and make peace with the fact that you just might be by yourself for a season.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all like people around us, because they, especially the people that's always applauding and the people that's always like, yay, it's always great. It's good to have. But I've been through it. Rekesha been through it. And I know many of people been through it. We had to make peace with the fact that for a season, I'm going to have to blaze down this thing by myself.
May I think this
absolutely.
Here's a trailblazing tool that I don't know if you know about, me and AC, that has helped us when we talk about going by yourself. One, you have to pack according to your destination. So you don't always pack the same thing. Number two, he and I, not together, okay? We do personal trips. Like some of the best strategy I have is in my toolbox. I do a personal vacation with me, myself, and I go somewhere and I literally do my goal line. AC knows about that. I plan, I do strategic planning. I don't have to answer to anybody, don't think about nothing. And I can have that one-on-one refreshing review reflection time. Because most of the time when we take group trips, it's work for us.
Yes.
Because people lean on us. We got to strategize and plan, and we the person, but that personal vacation, if you are a true trailblazer and venturing out, I am not scared to fly by myself. I don't announce it, but what I'm saying is I'm not scared to go somewhere and be with myself. And some of us, we're not trailblazing because you're scared of you too. You can't stand to be by yourself and to face yourself and to really deal with your own thoughts and things that you tell yourself. But now in this season, especially in isolation, when we have been forced to spend some time away from people, consider the tools of trailblazing and implement those in your life.
Absolutely. You got to have the right to, you got to pack, like you said, pack for the destination, pack for where you're going, and know what season that you're going into. Both of us travel across the country, around the world. We can be going from, for instance, I'm not going to pack for Alaska the way I'm a pack for Texas.
Right. Exactly.
Right. I'm not going to do that. And then not only that, but what I'm wearing needs to be transitional. So if I know as a trailblazer, I'm traveling, I'm not settling in this moment. I'm not building up anything right now. I'm moving. So if I know I'm doing that, then the clothes that I wear are going to be transitional, which means it might be cold when I'm leaving. So I'm going to put on a light jacket, a light sweater or whatever, so that when I get to my destination, I could just pop it off.
Yes.
Right. And so sometimes you wear something like, you could be leaving Alaska going to Texas and you got a whole down coat on and all of this stuff. And now you sweating hot for a little bit in Texas until you get somewhere where you can now change your, what you say?
Looking crazy.
Looking crazy. You come into the airport. Watch this. You ready? And it's so true. Because I do it in the airport. Y'all know I'm in the airport all the time. So I'm sitting in the airport and I can tell when people are not from where that particular airport is.
Yes.
Why? Because they got on clothes that don't match the environment.
Yes. This is good.
I can tell that you are not in the right season of your life by what you are wearing.
Spiritual, how you show up.
How you show up is gonna tell me, oh, you all out of whack. You dressed for winter, and you in the springs. You supposed to be springing up new stuff, and you trying to shelter in place and be all warm and cozy and stuff like. And it's like, no, boo boo.
Right.
Take off that comforter. Take
Yeah.
off that down coat. Take out all of that stuff and dress lighter and start letting some things spring up. You out of sync. You out of time. So anyway, sorry.
I did that many years ago when I was new to ministry. I went to Ohio for the first time. We ain't always been this way. I just want to give y'all some grace for those. We ain't always been this way. So I'm in the plane and I'm looking down and I was like, what is that? It was snow. I did not check. Now I check the weather forecast all the time. I did not check. Baby, I was out there and I wasn't ready.
I remember.
I was at a hotel, but baby, I looked out that plane and did not know. I said, what is that? Snow. I was from Cali. Honey, I didn't know no better. I learned right quick.
Mm-hmm. Mighty God. Right. So you got to check the environment that you're going into so that you can be dressed for where you're going. Right. But watch this. Even if you live or reside in a particular climate, you still need clothes so that you can go to other places. Mm-hmm. So that means you're going to have to invest. Right? Invest so that you could be prepared for your destination. Right? So that's what you're going to have to do. So you're going to have to be willing. You're going to have the clothes to be dressed for your destination. And then you're going to have to be able to have the tools to do what you need to do when you get there. Right?
If not, don't be surprised when nobody calls on you because you're not prepared.
Come on. And not only that because you're not prepared, but because they have an expectation of you. And you did not bring the tools that would cause you to fulfill or live up to that particular expectation. Absolutely. Y'all know Dr. Chris, y'all know Apostle Chris, y'all know I'm Mr. Supernatural Guy. Y'all know that I'm probably going to pull the tallit out of somewhere and start swinging it. Y'all know I'm probably going to grab a mantle and start swinging it. Y'all know I'm going to act a fool, right? Y'all guess that's just how I am. I'm a wild person when it comes to things in the spirit, right? That's me. So how would you feel if I didn't come with any of that and I came up and I said, praise the Lord, everybody. How are you? They're going to be like, what are you doing? Who is this?
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen is going to make people watch this disengage from what I'm trying to give them. Why? Because one, I didn't come prepared. Two, I'm operating in a place in something that's not even me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If I go to a concert, my favorite artist better sing that hit.
Come on, listen. Better sing it.
Better sing it.
Even if listen, Fred Hammond wrote No Weapon. How many years ago? And he's still singing. He wrote Bliss, and he's still singing today. Yes. Why? Because he understands there's an expectation. Donnie McClurkin, he gonna sing at least 8 counts of stand.
You got to
something because there's an expectation. And then not only that, so you need to understand that there's an Mr. or Mrs. Trailblazer. There's an expectation of you, on you. But the question is, do you even know what people are expecting of you? Now, that's a discussion that we'll probably have to have at Trailblazers. But
sometimes what we expect is not what you think we expect.
Come on.
We expect to have to come get you up off the floor. You taking, sorry, I didn't mean to go there. We expect to have to set you back in order.
Right. Come on here. So you
We expect you ain't gonna have enough money to cover your room.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to go there, but this is about us really
It's true.
preparing for where we're going. And there's some stuff that's like, come on, and this is not a shame thing. This is a let's do better.
Right. Right. We ain't shading nobody. We saying we come on up. This
Because
this
it
is how,
reflects the whole event.
yeah.
That's what we don't understand is when you go somewhere as a group, what group members do reflects on that group. These are the little things we teach, that it's not just that, it's a piece represents the whole.
Right.
So prepare is what we're saying.
Right. Be
It's not
prepared.
expensive. We get on AC and his staff's case for not actually charging more, but
Right.
we are grateful that it's accessible, but at the same time plan so that your experience can be without distraction.
Right. My speakers, they be getting on us. I especially this one right here.
Every time.
She gets me every time. She be like, bro, now come on. Because she knows we give a lot more than even what you pay for. So, and she knows, like, we go, if you've ever been to Trailblazers, you know it's like over the top. It is just, it's a whole experience. So, and so they get on me, and I'm like, no, but I'm telling y'all, that's why I'm having it still during the pandemic. And we're not really pulling back, because we have got to be willing. And you just said something so poignant. You got to be willing to invest in what you need and where you're going. You can't say I'm going here and not be willing to pay the price. And
it's a reasonable price. It's not unreasonable.
Right. Come on.
We've been places where we like, that's unreasonable. This is not that.
This ain't it. We've been to conferences, she and I, to where we've paid stacks.
Baby.
Not stacks as a whole, stacks just to register.
Yes, God.
Okay. Paid that just to go to invest, and then we walk away and go, I could have did a better conference than this.
Yes.
You know,
yeah. $500, that ain't nothing. We pay $1,500 to go places, and that's just registration. And that's not hotel, that's not flight, that's nothing.
Right. And so when you watch this, so when you're a trailblazer, there's a different mindset that you even gotta have. That's a mindset that you gotta have. That little $150, I think that registration is right now. It's really not really. It's nothing. And so, and I've been telling people kind of told me, some people was like, man, your registration, and I'm just being real with y'all, right? Man, your registration is $150. It's $100 this, and I'm like, yeah. And it was like, man, that's expensive. I said, then that means that you need to be at Trailblazers,
right?
Because if you think that's a lot of money, you can't tell me that you called to go and do this over here and you think $150 is a lot of money.
Now, can we break this down, y'all? Because I think that because we do this, you're not understanding. When you invest a certain level of money, it's not always about the actual event. Sometimes it's about pre-qualifying the people that you come into contact with. It's pre-qualifying the people that sit next to me. I have gotten multiple paid speaking engagements, paid, by sitting in sections where I've paid $1,000 or more to be there. It is
Come on.
So it's not, please, it's strategy is what we're saying. This is not about money. It's a strategy. The word says that money answers all things. It's a strategy. You use it as a strategy. So if $150 is too much, that means that you do not run with people of wealth and influence, because you're used to people being in lack and an absence of having things. And
Right.
so you are truly trailblazing. I always ask you, if you've come into contact with me, I would say, do you look like a good investment?
Do you
If
look like
you
a
are
vault?
impacting lives and if you're making a difference, people will be willing to cover the cost of you going somewhere if you are making an impact. If not, that's why nobody invests in you, because they're not getting anything out of it.
Come on. Come on.
It's a strategy. There are people that I know who charge six figures for a mastermind. What have they done? They have pre-qualified the people in the room to be millionaires so that they can do strategic business with them. This
Yep.
is why we need you to be at Trailblazers, because we need to shift your mind. As a
Yep.
man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This is not about money. Anytime I release money, I get it back. Yesterday, I thank y'all. The birthday thing was awesome. But guess what? I said, let me release some of this, because immediately that stuff started coming right back. And
Yep.
we are holding on to things, not realizing that there's a breakthrough in the release.
Come on.
I ain't going to be broke because I bought $150 registration. And if I am, I really need to say, am I a trailblazer?
Come on. Come
That
on.
come right back, honey.
Come on. Because the truth of the matter is, it will shift it. Absolutely, Eagle Wanda Moore.
Yes.
You need to shift your mind. Shift your mind. And the truth of the matter is, I think this is the most we've ever charged for Trailblazers. But what did I do? She said it. What am I doing? I'm pre-qualifying the people that come, because the people that are coming to pour is of a certain quality.
Right.
Okay.
You pay 10x that. Okay.
Okay. Right. Okay. Right. And so here it is. Here's something for the conference hosts, because I can say this as a trailblazer. There's certain engagements I won't come back to speak at because of the caliber of people you brought to the conference. Okay, now that's for the conference host. That's for the conference host. And sometimes you, not to say I do it for money, but I know some speakers are offended when you say, hey, can you come speak at my conference? And then we find out you charging $5 entry fee. So you saying that I'm on $5? That's how some speakers think. Now, I don't think that way, but that's how some speakers think. And so what I did for Trailblazers, what we did was, what we're doing, we're qualifying the type of people that come.
Yes.
Because they're saying, even in a pandemic, I'm going to stay at the embassy. In the pandemic, I'm still going to register what it called, and I'm a registered elite ambassador.
Thank you.
And I'm going to get a table while I'm at it, and I'm going to sell my business. I'm going to sell my wares, and I'm going to attend these workshops, and I'm going to bring people. What is happening? We're qualifying so that when the people come and they come together, I don't have to try to convince you, right, that we need to work together. I'm already coming with the mindset of I've invested. Now I'm coming to get my what's it
Return
called?
on investment.
Return on my investment. I'm coming looking for my next business partner. I'm coming looking for information on how do I make my next big ideal work. I'm coming looking for the coaching and all of that. That's what I'm coming for.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm coming for people who, and I've literally been prophesying this and saying this over Trailblazers. I said at Trailblazers, we're going to pay off mortgages. We're going to pay people's cars off. We're going to pay people's rent for months and everything. She going to be on here with me one Monday, but one of the speakers, I'll never forget. She got on, because within Kingdom Life, we did a wealth builders think tank. And she came on to teach, and she said this. Now, it gut punched us. Now, we're not shading anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Not shading anybody, because I've been there, am there, all of that stuff, okay? She made this statement because she deals a lot with real estate. She said, if you are renting you're homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Now, watch this. Now, some people will get mad and upset, right? Like, oh my God. But the truth of the matter is, it's a mentality shift. Now we got to start thinking. Now we got to own. We got to figure out a way to own our house.
Property.
We own
Mm-hmm.
property because that's how we build wealth. Now I don't know how we got in here, but it's a mentality shift.
Yes.
So you come to Trailblazers not just to have a massively supernatural time, because you will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The glory of God is so evident. Okay. At Trailblazers. I mean, it's potent. It is
Visible.
dense. It is like, oh my good googly moogly. Right. But at the same time, you come to where it's like, all right, cool. Now that we done got you in the presence of God, now we need to shift your mind. So you go back on fire and you ready to do what you got to do. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
yes, we qualify the people, and that's the way we do it. So if you're going, oh my Lord, how am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? You're telling me how you think about the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's got to shift. Because Trailblazers is not your average church. It's not really even a churchy conference.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
It's not even a churchy conference. So leave your Sunday go to meeting skirts and your St. John's and all of that stuff at home. Come with t-shirts and jeans, or your business casual wear for some of you entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs and all of that stuff. I mean, come ready to do some work, because we gonna work. We blazing at Trailblazers.
Yes, and Trailblazers is not for do nothings. When
Woo!
Jesus called the disciples, they were doing things, you all. They had to pivot for
Yes.
what they were doing to learn how to do it at a different level. Okay, you can fish here, but I'll make you fishers of men. I'm going to make you do more than when I met you. And that is the difference when you come into contact with the right teacher and the right transformers and the right people. They will take what you have and they will graduate it, or they will exponentially elevate that, so that what you do in the natural, you can do in a supernatural way.
Come on.
That's the difference. So it's not a bunch of you ain't doing nothing, let's get you to do something. No, it's you doing something, let's get you to do it on an exponential level.
Come on. Let's put an accelerant on it.
Correct.
Let's build you up and make and teach you how to do it better.
The
And
existing
franchise
skill
it.
set will be used in a new way.
Come on. Because listen, if you ain't picked it up by now, the way you're going to become wealthy is by literally living on the cutting edge. You're going to have to do things in a better way, in a new way, in a more creative way, and all of that. And that's what Trailblazers is here for.
And to
Yes,
decide quickly. Some of people are taking too long, and that's why you're belaboring. It's like you're taking too long. You have to be able to make informed decisions quickly. It doesn't mean a rash jump to judgment.
right.
But informed decisions quickly, because when you trailblaze, you have enough information to make a decision.
Right. Come on. Say it again.
It
Because I
don't
think
take-
they
That's
missed it.
why you can be there that weekend and make some changes if you want to. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take a year. Some of this stuff y'all been doing, it don't even take a week. It takes focus for you to do it. And you just have to make the decision, and then you back that decision up with actions.
Right.
And then you'll produce what you need instead of contemplating if I. No,
Right.
it's
Right.
when I, as
Right.
I.
Come on. Come on. Listen, it is so true. Listen, okay, yeah. It's scrolling at the bottom, www.kingdomlifetrailblazers.com. This is stuff you going to get at Trailblazers, right? When you come to Trailblazers, ain't nobody coming here to to kind of, pat a cake. No, we like, absolutely. I love that, counselor. The
Yeah.
focus, make your decisions, action.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You need to make, and there was one year, one of our facilitators I did it the first year, and then another one of the facilitators loved it so much they did it in their session, and I love the fact that they did it. Which was, I told everybody, if you feel like you need to make what you sold to come, airfare, hotel, and registration, you need, and food, you need to make that back by the time you get back home. In order to feel comfortable, raise your hand. And some people raised their hand, and I gave them keys. I asked them all what your business was, asked them all what they were called to do, all of that stuff. And I said, by the time this weekend is done, and I gave them a 3-step process. Do this, do this, and do this. And I guarantee you'll have it by the time you get back home. And they did it. And they were, watch this, they were so excited. They came and they were sewing. They was like, I can't believe, because sometimes you just need somebody to unlock it in you.
Yes.
You just need somebody to unlock it in you, give you the practical principle on how to make it happen. Right? It was one person who came to Trailblazers. It was the first year we called it Trailblazers, which was Chicago. And so they came to Trailblazers, and it was actually the day you preached. You could catch these hands. And so they came to me and they was like, Apostle Chris, this is what I want to do this. I want to be able to do this, but I just can't figure out how to do it. And I told them they couldn't figure out how to get the seed money to get the stuff off the ground. And I gave them keys right there at my product table. And I was like, do this, 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 and this, and do it today. And then come back to me by the time Saturday night is over, and I want to hear what happened. I said, but you're going to have to implement it. You're going to have to implement it. And he did it, and he said, you ain't going to believe this.
Yes, I will.
I'm like, yes, I will, because I just told you.
Right, because it works.
It works. And we're not coming and jerking around and going, oh, I hear the word of the Lord. No. These are principles that we have practiced.
Lived.
Right? I've made 6 figures in a year. I've watched the midwife make 6 figures in a month. All right. But watch this. I will call her and I'll be like, okay, wait, what you doing? What you doing? How you doing it? Okay, cool. And I would implement it, and boom. So it's principles that if you work them, you will see the fruit of it. And we got people that's going to come and teach you about owning your own house. We're going to have a whole trade with me session where you're going to be able to whip out your phone, and we're going to tell you where to invest your money. If you're willing to do it right then, we're going to do a whole trade with me and stuff like that, so that we can put you in position.
Thank you.
Right? So after we done laid hands and prophesied and you done rolled around in the flow, in your little square, because we social distance.
Please, thank
you. We done did all of that. Now we're going to come in and say, okay, now your soul is prospering because you own Ziggity. But now let's get you in a place of prosperity and good health, even as your soul is prospering.
Yes.
And that's what it's here for. And sometimes you just need somebody. And that's why we call her the midwife. She's a midwife to me. She's a midwife to everybody that she come into contact. She's a global midwife, right? She's got people all over the world that look to her, not only just to get their book out, but from the table. If y'all have ever seen my product tables, I've gone to her and been like, sis, I'm trying to shift it, make it look better. And she'd be like, okay, well, do this. This is what I did and everything. That's what you're going to get at Trailblazers. Right. But you also need to find somebody who's going to be there with it. Anyways, go ahead. I see you.
What I appreciate about you is that you are not greedy and you are not in competition. And that is one thing that I can say. You're generous with your information and what works. There's stuff that I learned from you, but the same thing, he'll walk up to my table and be like, oh, okay, I see this. I am in no way offended, because we do have it now. It's something when I look at people, I'll be like, oh, so I done inspired you, huh?
Right.
I see it, but that's a good thing. And what I do want to encourage you guys with too, as I know we're wrapping it up because we could
Yeah.
talk like for hours,
Right.
okay? Is that what God has created you to do, you'll do naturally. I ain't trying to be a midwife. I didn't give like just well, what do you know, who do men say that I am? I didn't name myself that. It is something that happens naturally. I don't try it. You guys, it just flows. It's my
Right.
anointing. And it's the same thing with you. Like we said, when you show up, what do we expect? Are you coming to add or are you coming to subtract? Do we know that you are going to come in here and unleash some things, or are you going to come in here and leech?
Ooh.
Because if you are really on fire, you ain't got to tell nobody.
Come
They'll
on.
tell you.
They can see it and feel it. They can see it and feel it. Mighty God in glory.
Ooh, July can't come fast enough.
Listen, July cannot come fast enough. And y'all need to be registering. Are y'all registering? You need, if y'all coming to Trailblazers, if you register for Trailblazers, I want you to put a hashtag flame on. If you are registered for Trailblazers, I want you to hashtag and say flame on. Or if you're going to register, I want you to hashtag and put ignited. So if you're going to register, put hashtag ignited. If you've already registered, I want you to put hashtag flame on. That's what I want you to do. I want to see. Let me see. Oh, she said I'm registered. I said hashtag
Flame
flame
on.
on.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Flame on. There we go. Flame on. Come on, Demetria.
Good.
Yes.
Good. You.
Oh man. Hashtag. Oh, ignited.
Yes.
Come on, Raymond. Jeremy. Yes. Flame on. Kasim. Flame on. Carolyn. Flame on. Yes. I love
Yes.
it. Lisa Ann. Ignited. Come on, counselor.
These are called receipts.
Come on here. Come on. This is right. This is receipts. Reba. Flame on. Yes. India. Flame on. Tanya.
Yes.
Flame on. Ingrid. Flame on. Aldrina. Flame on. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Kanisha. Flame on. Yes. Tanya. Flame on. Charmaine, she put a flame, but I guess
she said I'm gonna be creative and
I'm gonna be creative, huh? Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
the emojis, Jesus.
Listen, Listen, I'm telling y'all, you need to come to Trailblazers. You've got to be there. And yes, you can register virtually if you want to. The cost is the same. Okay.
That's strategy. Somebody else told me to do that too. They're like, don't make it cheaper. I was like, all right.
No, you don't make it cheaper. No. Because the content is still the same. The value don't go down because you ain't there.
Woo.
You gonna be in every session that you register for and everything like that.
Flame on, Eva. Of course, we gonna see you there.
Right, you know Eva gonna be
okay, front and center.
Front and center, huh?
Yeah.
Right, the mobile. And listen, let me tell you what's happening. People bringing whole groups. I mean whole groups. That's right, Valerie. Flame on. Yes. I mean, Mobile coming deep. California, LA coming deep. I think it's like 12 or 13 of them coming from Cali.
Yeah.
Mobile, I think it's about 10 of them, I think, from that area coming. Let's see. Atlanta, Georgia's coming, a whole group. Florida's coming deep. I mean, listen.
Well, come on, Texas.
Come on, right?
Now, I'm a Cali native, but come on, Texas.
Come on, Texas. Let's get it in. Let me see. My college child, flame on. Yes. Yeah, Destiny's coming. Yes. I see him. Yeah. Yeah, they coming in deep from Mobile. My Lord. So I'm telling y'all. I mean, I think a pastor. We got a pastor, apostle is bringing his church. to Trailblazers. I don't even know the man, but he heard me speaking on here. We was just talking, and he went to the website and saw. He said, "This is what I've been trying to teach my whole church. I planned on teaching my whole church this all year, so I'm just
Look,
gonna bring them all to the conference and
that's
just
smart.
do a one hitter quitter.
That's quick work. That's quick work.
Quick work. I'm telling you
And you
that.
know, even as a speaker, like there'll be people, and I'm looking at AC like, oh, where'd you find them? Like, who is this? He always has these amazing people that sometimes you haven't heard of on a grand scale, but
Yeah,
they got it.
because you want to know what I learned, sis. And this is no shade to our
Listen,
uh affluential leaders.
I already know.
No shade to them. But I've learned that there is more power in the pew and there's more power. Listen, Pharaoh might have been powerful, but it was Joseph's wisdom that got him through those 14 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've decided I need to, yeah, Pharaoh, because sometimes people just have power because it was inherited.
Right.
Not that they got the wisdom. They daddy, they granddaddy, they mama, they grandmama gave it to them, which is okay. Nothing wrong with it. But I learned that there are, if I can get you connected with some Josephs, some Esthers, some Deborahs, those are the ones that know the inner workings of everything, and they got the wisdom.
Yes.
So yeah, you're right. She'll look at me like, "Where did you find him? What in the world?" And I'm like, "Okay, no, listen, because not listen. We got."